with the cards and around mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light.
Good morning and welcome to the My Tarot Morning Reflection Daily Inventory. Chance to wake up and remind to take a breath. So, with daylight savings, I'm waiting for the sun to start shining through that window again. Do I see a little bit of a crack? Well, nope, not much. So, I hope everybody is having that amazing morning or day, wherever you happen to be. I'm just glad to have a chance to stop and take a breath. So, this is our chance and our reminder to check in with the universe, see how things are going. Listen to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. Feet flat on the floor, button on the kitty dance. Shoulders relaxed, neck relaxed. And that extra breath. So, checking in with the universe, seeing if there's anything like angers or resentments or things we should watch out for. You know, it's just that it's these other things that actually can control us. You know, when we take a breath through an event or something, we're in control, but things just know how to trigger us. And I know for me, the moment I start getting triggered is the moment they get control. So, good morning, Angelina. So this is just a good way to find a center so that we can see what's going on through the day and yet at least try and breathe through it and be somewhat objective, if that makes sense. So, we do that. As I say, the universe holds up a mirror and asks us, what do we see? And I believe the tarot can be that mirror that will reflect back. So let's take a look at that reflection today and see what we see. So I'll be at Lune Metaphysical tonight, and I have an event this weekend. Court cards, a conversation with the court cards. And I'll be doing that at Soul Aura, so that's going to be fun. I love doing classes. Conversations with the court cards. Because that's exactly what it is. Okay, so we know what this is. That's our stack, and I'm making 3 more stacks here. And each one of these is like a different thread going out to the universe. It's like each one of these is a different thought or idea, and if we believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path, because this stack is one conversation, this is a totally different conversation, and this stack will lead in a totally different direction. And I love it when I do that, because some people, they see it really serious, especially when I say things, whichever stack you choose, you'll be leaving 2 paths behind. But I always do it jokingly. But it's kind of true, because there are no coincidences and everything's an omen. And literally, the smallest steps we take today will lead us who knows where. So with that, I'm going to take the bottom stack, which I like to think of as things that are underneath that could be influencing us, and we don't even see it. Then I'll take an extra sip of coffee. And I'll do our 3-in-1. So I was doing a reading for somebody over the weekend in Leesburg, Virginia. And I had bumped into the box, and we were talking about omens and coincidences and how there are none and things like that. We were just having this deep conversation. And I bumped the box off. And I told her, it's like, so now that's going to delay me when I pick it up. And whatever shuffle I was going to do before, that box has just completely changed that shuffle. And that just led to some really interesting philosophical questions, but it's true. If that box hadn't got knocked on the floor, the tarot spread would have been totally different. So I'm going to flip each card over one at a time, like they're the pages of a book. And I just always remind myself that it's the small things I do. If you do the next right thing, if I do the next right thing, I might most likely get the next right thing. If I'm not doing the right thing, then I probably won't get the next right thing. And it all ties together. So flipping the cards over one at a time, like we're reading the pages of a book. So this is the 10 of, oh my God, look at how heavy that is. I mean, how many more wands do you need? So each one of these is an individual log, an individual stick. Each one of these weighs 10 pounds each, and there's 10 of these, and we're carrying these on our back. So wands are fire, energy, creativity, action, trying to get things done, and it's just a pile on. It's those things that we do where sometimes we look at ourselves, good morning, Vicky, but sometimes we look at this, and we're the ones underneath carrying this. And I always kind of explain this card to somebody, that these are the things, if I don't do it, nobody else will. If I don't make that phone call, if I don't get this, blah, blah, da, 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 da. And sometimes we get so weighed down, we forget to ask for help. Sometimes we forget that it's like, you know what? We can schedule this. I can take these 3 at a time, and that's fine. But it's like the frog in the boiling water, that classic analogy where if you drop a frog in water and you just slowly boil it, he stays there and will slowly just boil to death. As compared to if you just stick your finger in something super hot, to pull it out. It's that slow boil. So let's take a look at the next card, which is kind of a remedy. So here we have the 8 of Cups. And cups are about our emotions, our spirituality, our feelings. 8s are about progress and moving forward. So if you look at this as maybe like a map. So here we have all these cups. These might be the things that helped us to get where we are today and things that we value. These are the things that maybe even kept us sane, but sometimes we outgrow things. And so if we look at this as kind of like a map, as we progress forward through our spirituality, through our emotions and feelings, sometimes it's time to move on. And sometimes we need to be willing to leave things behind. So the 10 of Wands can give satisfaction because we can even say, oh, if I don't do it, who would? And it gives a satisfaction, and I don't want to use the word a sense of superiority, but it's one of those things sometimes that makes us feel very important because we're doing that job. But sometimes we need to be willing to lay down those sticks and walk away from them so that we can grow. And that's the 8 of Cups. It's about being able to move forward and grow, find a new mountain off in the distance, and make that our new challenge. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. This has been the season of the sneeze, I'll tell you. So, let's see what the next card is then. And look at this. It's our major. So, as I always say, the minors are our day-to-day cards. These cards are just welcome to a Thursday. But the majors we pay attention to. And so the Lovers, this card is actually about choices. So this is the traditional tarot deck. This is what the original Lovers looked like. And we can see here that there's somebody in the middle. And they have a choice to make, because here we have an older woman, probably a widow, probably somebody who's landed, has a little bit of money, and this person has to decide who they are going to be with, who they're going to marry. This is the one their parents probably want, and yet here we have a maiden over here to the right. Her hand is on his heart. He's kind of leaning towards her. So see how we have that choice to make between what we want and what logic might dictate. And also, notice where the maiden's, the older woman's hand is going, because she's experienced. Where the maiden's hand is on his heart, she's going for a different area. She's trying to influence in her own way. But as I always say with this card, is that, good morning, Maureen, is that if you don't make a decision, if I don't make this decision, then something's going to make that decision for us, because up here we have Cupid. And this is the one god, it's the one god that Zeus is scared of, because even Zeus is not immune to that arrow. And so we end up sometimes having choices taken away from us. So without even looking at the advice card, so far, it's about examining how we feel, what anxieties what burdens we put on ourselves. What is it that we feel that we have to do that we can't share with other people, or that we forget that we can share with other people? How can we make the plans to lay this burden down? Because if we have choices to make and we're overburdened, just like I was talking about before I started the tarot, where we're not breathing, where we're not in a good state of mind, as I'd said before even doing this, if we have angers or resentments, those are the things that are going to guide our decisions. If we're tired, if it's halt, hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. 10 of Wands. If we're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, if we don't take care of that and we have decisions to make, then we're going to see all of our problems through the filter of being either hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. And that is going to make the decision for us. But let's see what the advice card is. Wow. It's Temperance. You know, when I went to Italy, I saw this statue and this bas relief carved into walls. And temperance is just like the word. We don't need to go super metaphysical with it. It's just about temperance, which means not too much, not too little. It's about mixing water with the wine so that you don't have... Remember that back in the 1500s, they didn't know about microbes. They didn't know. But when you mix a little bit of wine with the water, it would somehow or another, through observation, they figured out that was something that you wanted to do. So, but they didn't mix just a little bit of water into the wine unless it's a party. So, yes, we have things that we need to do. But sometimes we need to be willing to walk away, even though it validates, sometimes these things validate our very existence. You know, that feeling of if I don't do it, who will? Or the other stressors that we have at job. But we need to be able to walk away so that we can fulfill this story. And when it comes time to make that choice that's going to get presented to us, and we all get presented with choices. But the next step that we take, the next right step, then you do the next right thing, you generally you do the right thing and you generally get the right thing. And the right thing is just taking care of ourselves so that the internet's not influencing our decisions. So the stressors at job is not influencing our decision. Our angers and resentments are not influencing our decisions. but we find temperance and balance and a centered self for those decisions. So, boy, I just get the feeling that there's a theme that's been going on for the last 2 weeks. And I think a lot of it is learning how to see through stressors, anxieties, and those types of filters. Removing those filters, finding a balance, so that we can make decisions not based on what other people's influences, the negative influences that they want to throw at us, so that we can see things clearly for ourselves. And we can do that by breathing through stuff. Taking that breath. For me, it's taking the breath before I open my mouth. So with that, I hope everybody again has that amazing day, amazing rest of the evening. I'm going to be at Soul Aura tonight. Choose to wake up with a positive mindset, you know? And I am going, trust me, like I say, I read the news, I see the stuff going on, but I'm still going to try, and I only have today, and tomorrow I may get hit by a bus, so I would rather live through the 8 of Cups today and learn something. So take care, everybody. Thank you again, and I will see you tomorrow.
Stars in the sky, cards in my